morning, and welcome to your final exam. I'm going to complete two different parts for your final. Obviously, the main part is creating a photo greeting card, a holiday card of some sort. We'll go over that in a second. In addition to that, you need to show your ability to add a Photoshop effect to one of your images. And so because it's winter, it's December now, the effect that we're going to add to one of our images is snow. So again, this will be a Photoshop weather effect, and we're going to be adding snow to an image. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Photoshop, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up the image that I want to add snow to. In this case, I have a picture of my daughter, and I have her in this little sled, and what I want to do is I want to add some snow. So here we go. You can follow along, and you should be able to do this no problem. So with our photo just opened, we're going to add a new layer. So I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to go right down here, I'm going to add a new layer. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to name that layer Snow. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go up to the Edit menu. I'm going to fill this layer with black. So I'm going to go to the Edit menu, I'm going to go to Fill. I'm going to make sure that this says, scroll down and says Use Black. Okay. And then I'm going to make sure the mode is set to normal and the opacity is at 100%. Okay. When you're done with that, you hit OK, and you'll see that Photoshop's going to fill the snow layer with black, right? And because that sits above your background layer, it pretty much hides our photo for a second. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add noise, and we're going to do that using a filter, okay, to add a bunch of random white dots to our black filled layer. So go up to the top, we're going to use the filter menu, go down, choose noise, right, and then choose add noise. Alright, so we're going to drag the slider to about 25%. You can see I've done this before, so it's kind of set for me. But again, you can see like what happens as I adjust it higher or lower. And then at the bottom where it says distribution, let's make sure that we've selected Gaussian and make sure that monochromatic is on. And we want to make sure it's monochromatic because then it'll fill with only white dots, right, as opposed to multiple colors. Once you're done with that, hit OK. And you can see all of the little white dots in our screen. Now we're going to increase the size of our noise, alright? And so this is so that our dots get a little bit bigger. Go up to the Edit menu, choose Transform, and then choose Scale. Okay. With the scale command selected, click the small length between the width and the height up here at the top. And then go ahead and we're going to change the value to 400%. So you'll see since I clicked on that, when I change the width to 400%, the height will change to 400%. When you're happy with that, go ahead and click the check mark in the option bar. And now we've accepted those changes. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to change the layer blend mode. So that's going to be right here where it says normal. Let's go ahead and scroll down to screen. And now we're able to see that image. It hides all of the black on the layer, leaving only the white noise visible, right? And now it looks more like snow in our picture. Okay. If we want our snow to look like it's actually falling and not just frozen in time, we actually need to add a bit of motion. So to add motion, right, we're going to go up to the filter menu again. We're going to choose Blur, and then we're going to choose Motion Blur. And you'll be able to see when I click this what's going to what happens, I'm gonna, under the angle option, right, you have a lot of different choices. I'm gonna set my angle to -65, right? That'll make it look like the snow is appearing to fall from the top left of the screen. Okay, we can then control how much blur is added by measuring like the distance. So in this case, we just want a hint of motion. So I'm gonna set it to maybe like 12 pixels. Okay, let's actually see what happens if I choose 8 pixels. So I actually like it at 8 pixels. And I'm going to hit OK again. And now you can see my effect after applying the motion blur. Okay, we're going to add a new adjustment layer. So to do that, the adjustment layer is going to be right here. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hold down Alt on my keyboard when I select this. Sorry, hold on 1 second. Alt, and let's choose levels. And that's gonna, if I hold down Alt, it's gonna open up this dialog box so that I can basically make a couple of adjustments and rename it. So when this pops up, select use the previous layer to create clipping mask. So click on that. This will clip the adjustment layer to the snow layer. And now, since we've already checked that, let's just go ahead and we'll just click OK. Right, now we're going to get this this layer adjustment, and so now we can slide the black point and the white point sliders to make this look just how we want it to. Alright, so here we are. We've got this histogram kind of showing here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some adjustments. I'm actually going to move my slider. If I move my black slider over to the right, it's going to reduce the amount of snow. And sorry, I made a little bit of an error, so I'm going to do that by manually. And then I can move my white slider to the left, and that'll brighten up my snow. Let's see, I'm just going to change it here. I'm going to change it to 140. And that gives you an idea of what that's going to look like. I'm going to then close this layer. I'm going to duplicate the snow layer. So I'm just going to take levels 1 and snow. I'm going to make sure I highlight both of them. You can do that by holding down Control. And then remember to copy these. I'm going to hold down Control and press J. And now I've duplicated, copied both of those layers above the originals. I'm going to select the snow copy layer. And I'm going to rotate the layer 180 degrees. Alright, that's going to make it so that the snowflakes I just added in the copy aren't just sitting on top of the originals. To do that, go to the Edit menu, choose Transform, and then rotate 180 degrees. Gives you an idea. I just added quite a bit more snow. Okay, I'm going to then apply a few filters. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the crystallize filter. To do that, go up to the filter menu, choose pixelate, and then choose crystallize. This opens the crystallize dialog box. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change the cell size. Let's see. Let's try 12. I'll stick with like a little bit lower number. Let's go right in the middle of this. Let's do 10. And we'll hit OK. And we're also going to apply a motion blur to this. So we're going to go up to the filter menu with it still selected, my snow copy layer. Go up to the filter menu, go to blur, and then choose motion blur. Okay, when that opens, let's go ahead and set the distance. Somewhere between 16 to 20 pixels. Let's go ahead and set it to 16. You can see in my preview screen what it looks like. Let's just do right in the middle. We'll do 18 pixels. Okay. Hit OK. And then we're just going to readjust. The last step we're going to do is readjust the level slider. Okay. So it says click on the level slider adjustment layer above the snow copy layer. And let's go to edit adjustments. I'm just going to change this one slightly. I'm going to change this to 40. I'm going to change this to 119. And there we go. So that is going to be my final product. And I might actually just make it a bit darker, so I'm going to output level, just lower that a little bit. Okay. And when I'm happy and done with that, so that I'm going to be able to input it into my into the holiday card I'm going to create, I'm going to go to File, Save. Well, first let's save this. We're going to call it Paisley Sled Snow. Right? And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save it as a JPEG. So File, Save for Web. Make sure you're selected on 4F. JPEG, Optimized. And we can keep it nice and large. We'll be able to adjust it later. So because we're not going to post it to the web right now, so I'll keep my image size large. And then hit Save. And I'll put it in that folder that's got all my images, Paisley Sled Snow, and hit Save. And there we go. Now when I go to my desktop and I open this up, I can go to Paisley Sled Snow JPEG, and there it is. Looks like it's snowing in Menlo Park. What a deal. That's it. Thanks.